Do your ears hang low? Prick up your ears. Do you hear his question? 1, 2, 3. This summer, he'll be waiting for your answer. In response to increasing volcanic activity since 1097, Mayor Herman Doikos initiated the siesta-free state relocation project. By early 1099, more than 90% of siestans are expected to leave the volcanoes and beaches for a new life in a nomadic city. Just to make it clear, girl, you only paid enough to get you to the next hub. You'll have to find your own way from there. I will. You say that, but have you any idea how dangerous the Barrens are? It's no place for a kid like you. Why are you going to siesta anyway? Chasing your favorite band? Work. Going from Colombia to siesta to look for work? You must have been living under a rock for the last 70 years. It was a time when people flocked there to make their fortune. They say you could bend down and pick up some obsidian anywhere on the volcano. But Colombia is where the opportunities are these days. I interned at a construction company before I graduated. There was a serious accident just as my internship was about to end, and the company blamed it all on me. With that on my record, the only job I could find was some tiny demolition operation, where I got erypathy from the way they misused Originum bomb. I wanted to stay in the city, but got scammed out of my last savings paying for medical insurance. Well, that's tough luck. Don't let erypathy stop you from being a pillar of the nation. Join the Frontier Pioneers. The Pioneers provide an opportunity for every child of Colombia to have a better future. I thought it was time for a change. My grandfather told me siesta is a beautiful place. I hope you find better luck there. I think I will. I've lost my way. I've lost the path. I can't sing, y'all. Static overcomes the easy tune that was playing on the car radio. The truck slows to a halt on the Barrens, as though all life was sucked out of it. What the heck is going on? Oop, that's not good. Ooh. One more dessert for the day, please. Of course. Would you like to try a different flavor? Prices here are nothing like Colombia. It's a tourist town, all right. All the food looks so nice. And the cocktails, too. All original. Can't get them anywhere else. Every cocktail has a story. Like this Nutmeg Beach. Hey. Are those two friends of yours? Yeah, we're all from Lungman and we all work for the same company. We get along really well. Why do they look like they could break into a fist fight at any time? Even good friends fight sometimes. Didn't expect you to grace us with your presence personally, Commissioner Swire. The LGD has annual leave. Got a problem with that? I know why you're here. I have to say, I was surprised to see you and your family on the list of bidders for the new plate and shopping district rebuilding project. Mr. Enos, are you okay? Just got a fright. I choked on something. Well, Mountain Dash logistics activities in Siesta are no news to me. You want to set up a logistics hub at this plate because of its location. Where's Euro? I'm in charge of this project. Mountain Com Trade may be a subsidiary of Mountain Dash Logistics, but I'm not relying on Mountain Dash's resources at all. This boy born with a silver spoon in his mouth says he doesn't rely on his family's resources. Did you bike here? This is no time or place for jokes, Miss Swire. Very well, we'll talk business. This is a project with a lot of potential. A lot of eyes on it, including my own. It's fair game, so long as Mountain Dash Logistics doesn't have a formal contract with Siesta. Then may I ask your plans for the district? Let's call those a business secret. Shopping center or ski resort, anything with some economic benefit has a reason to be part of the bidding. I think I saw some engineered hot lava springs on the way here. That seems pretty interesting. Maybe I should rebuild this whole area as a hot spring resort. This is serious. Let's talk seriously. I know your family is a linchpin of the Lungmen economy, and you've contributed much to the city's development. But the project in this area of New Siesta isn't just a commercial venture. It has to take into account the city's long-term development, the livelihoods of the people here. I'll ask you to rethink. If you're just in this for fun. Mr. Bison, sir. If you're really confident in your proposal, then all you need to do is to outbid me fair and square. Why did you feel the need to come to me here? Mountain Dash's efforts at establishing a large-scale international trade network are innovative. But innovation entails risk. Why are your methods more correct than mine, when they both involve business and profits? If you insist on continuing this pointless competition, I will play your game. And I'm happy to play. We have some time until the official bidding starts. We'll each play our hands until then. What are you looking at, Snowson? Miss Swire, something's not right with the route that gentleman took when he drove us here. There's no way this was 10 kilometers. There are greedy people everywhere. Where did you get this map? I said I wanted to borrow a map to look up some sightseeing routes, and Mr. Enos gave this to me. He said it's a commemorative edition issued for Siesta's relocation. And so he charged me some more gold certificates. The map is creased with a few barely legible routes on it, and childish scribblings for the sea and volcanoes. This map's been handed out for free at the city entrance. Look of surprise? I'll teach him a lesson next time I see him. Enos, you're in a good mood. So with another visitor, someone's gonna beat you up one of these days. I wasn't ripping off some poor schmo. These folks, my friend, were filthy rich. She was talking big business with that guy from the trade company, hoping to make God knows how much money. Call it a little deductible on behalf of the citizens of Siesta. Let's go. Is this the one? No, look at that shape. It has 3 peaks. The one in the photo only has 2. Let's keep looking. Volcano watchers. I've seen these plants in my mother's notes. There's a Siestan legend about flowers that change color based on volcanic activity. Katia and Magna came looking for it the first time they were here. There were reports of massive blooms on the slopes before every recorded volcanic activity on Mount Siesta. A beautiful warning of danger. Did the flowers go extinct? The flowers are just a legend. There's no proof that they ever existed. And this word of mouth stuff gives us little to work with. It would make sense for origin activity to affect nearby plants. Would finding this flower provide another way to prevent volcanic disasters? Perhaps, but I've never heard of it growing anywhere else. That's the way Siesta is. There are many legends here. Who knows how many were made up just to attract tourists? Pink clouds on a sunny day, white cliffs by the mouth of a mouth of a volcano. Many people come seeking these legendary sites every year. I remember you met my parents in Siesta, Professor Keller. Yes, I did. They said they came to Siesta to survey the volcanoes, and ran into a geology student writing her thesis in one of the cafes. So they brought her with them when they climbed the volcano. I didn't specialize in volcanoes at the time. It was my first time climbing that one. A beautiful sight. It delayed my thesis. Muti and Vati are always reminiscing about that time. I want to hear more stories about them. Can you tell me more? The scholar gazes away, towards the stack of documents in her hand. The air of recollection is quickly diluted by the labors of reality. Now is not the time to chat. Let's focus on our work. Professor Keller, is the city council meeting over? There is increasing public opposition, moving away from the current beachfront. The city council is keen to have an accurate estimation of when the volcano will erupt, and wants us to provide a guarantee for the estimate that we gave. I rejected it on the spot as being impossible and irresponsible. We try to give an estimate that is as accurate as possible, but scientific survey cannot be held responsible for the government's opinion polls. Thank you for taking care of that, Dr. Khan. No need to thank me. The Volcano Museum is your project, and I promised to help so you could focus on more important things. This is something that matters to all volcanologists, and I hope... Adele? Khan! I forgot. Of course you knew each other. Of course. Is she here at your behest? The museum's collection includes Mr. and Mrs. Nauman's research, and the eruption of Mount Siesta is a rare opportunity. I wanted to respect Adele's wishes. I just didn't think it would be the kind of work that needed to recruit a sickly... someone who's not in the best of health. I came to help out while on vacation. It's not really a bother. Khan has a point. Your health is important. You have to take it easy, Adele. Let's call it a day. May I ask you to bring Adele back to her accommodations, Dr. Khan? Of course. Have a cocktail on me. Reward for fetching a rare new customer. You just wanted someone to test it for poison. I call it Cotton Sunset. How is it? It has a unique flavor. You're one tough customer. So was that girl a friend of yours? Forget it. I haven't got the nerve to befriend her. Shame. Truck driver, messenger, ticket seller, swimming coach? How many jobs are you working? It's the high season after all. Gotta seize the opportunity. What are you needing money for? Got a girl you fancy? I could give you an advance on your wages if you're running short on pocket money. I don't forget it. Seeing how business has been these few months, I should feel lucky that I even get my meals. You should be worrying about dorm fees for the little ones. This is nothing compared to the stuff I've seen in the past. Are you going to tell that story about how you led a protest against the local magnate in Casimiras to rock music? Then went on to a career in Siesta's rock and roll scene? Finally settling down here with this bar? Again? Good memory on you. I'm too old for bedtime stories. Say, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. Business hasn't been great since last year. I heard things have been going well at the engineered lava hot springs. If we... Getting funny ideas again, young man? Don't get ahead of yourself. I'm still the owner of this place on paper. You haven't taken over yet. This is the coolest cocktail bar in Siesta, and it hasn't changed one bit from old Siesta to new Siesta. I'm not about to abandon it over a few slow months. This isn't a short-term thing. City council people have been here a few times. The whole street could be demolished. Yet you fixed a sign for the folks next door, while you haven't bothered to fix ours, even though it's been broken for days. Is a sign going to save the shop? Stop worrying about troubles that aren't even here yet. Life isn't nearly as bad as you think. Act your age for once. Leave the worrying to the old folk. I want to travel a little once the high season's over. Sure. Columbia? Victoria? Or even further away. Just like him. See the world. Expand your horizons. You're too young to be worrying about the little things. What I mean is, I could be gone for a while. What's this about? Oh, I had a little bump while moving some stuff. I thought it was nothing. Well, the summer is pretty dry this year. You should have more fruits and veggies. Need a recipe from me? I'm not a kid anymore. Then don't make me have to worry about you. Look the part. If you want to be taking care of other people. Alright, Mom. Thanks for the escort, Con. I'm sure you have a lot of work to do. I'll be fine the rest of the way. Sorry. Could you speak up a little? It's noisy out here and I couldn't quite hear you. Are you worried about me? Don't be. Everyday life isn't much trouble anymore. I didn't think I would see you in Siesta. Are you okay? Your disease. Well, the erypathy getting worse can't be helped. But things are largely under control now. I have to wear a hearing aid and glasses. But I'm getting used to it. I've also gotten pretty good at lip reading. It's just so unfair. A girl as young as you. It's not about fair. I've seen plenty of infected at Rhodes Island. Many are even younger than I am. Some are little kids who hardly know what's going on. None of them know when their lives will end. At least I have a clear goal. And I'm still strong enough to work towards it. I'm one of the lucky ones. Has it really been so long since you went to Rhodes Island? How time flies. I heard you're still surveying volcanoes in person. And even more frequently these days. It's dangerous, Adele. I've talked to the physicians at Rhodes Island. I know how much time I have left. But there's so much still to do. I can't let my parents' research end like this. You don't have to be the one to do it. Not in your condition. What else can I do, though? Con, I miss them. Poor girl. Do you not suffer enough shackles already? What? I wouldn't call it shackles. What's that you just said, Adele? Huh? Adele, I studied with Dr. Nauman for many years. She was my greatest mentor. She brought me out of that little backwater and took me down the path of science. She changed my life. I don't know where I would be without her. I could never repay her kindness. Muti always said you were her best student. Khan pauses, as though to muster courage. I just can't accept the mysterious circumstances surrounding their deaths. What do you mean? The night breeze carries with it the sound of guitar. Street lamps begin to light up, forming a line that leads to the volcano. At the center of the city, mist rises from hot springs in the distance, laying a veil over the night sky. Adele rubs her eyes. You didn't see your parents the year before they died, did you? They were always busy, practically living out of their lab at the university. I wasn't even allowed to visit them. Did something happen? As a scientist, I know how inappropriate it is to operate off of biased conjecture. And yet, I can't help but suspect. My. Another one was an obsession. What? I don't trust Keller, Adele. Be careful. I don't understand. Why do humans talk so much about things they have never seen? Why do they pretend to have more wisdom than they possess? I didn't quite hear what you said. Might be a problem with my hearing aid. Sorry, I got excited. It's been a long time since I last saw you. It's late. You should get some rest. See you. What was Khan going to say? Girl? Girl? Hey, can you hear me? Is someone calling me? Hello? Oh, she's gone crazy. Who's there? Me! I thought you would have gotten used to me by now. But then I remembered I haven't ever spoke to you like this before. Or have I? I don't remember. Like a cloud drifting down from the night sky, a furry creature appears before Adele. Spinning slowly in the air, it lands on a mailbox by the roadside, looking both graceful and comical. Oh, hello, good evening, little black sheep? You're calling me little black sheep? Sure, I guess. Why to look a surprise? We've met. I mean, we have. Haven't we? Sorry, I didn't know you could talk. We don't talk often. I mean, I'm the only one who can. The rest of us, well, maybe they don't like interacting with people. Maybe they haven't learned to yet. Anyway, that's not important. I found you now, so I can just talk to you. You know me? I guess you could say I watched you grow up. Now, no, I don't private lives. It's just, well, pure and simple companionship. Anyway, what I mean to say is, of course I know you. I don't know if it's a coincidence that I ran into you here, but it's an opportunity. I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Of course, puny humans always have so many questions. Don't worry, I'll answer. Let's have a little chat. You have time for that? I'm not sure if girls your age need to be home by a certain time or not. I'm not a kid anymore. Good, then you have time. Want to go for a walk? Waterhole? Hot springs? White smoke? That's wrong. The smoke from the volcano is great. Siesta isn't like this. But that's not siesta anymore. Siesta is where we are right now. Those tall buildings all have white smoke. This is Siesta. But that Siesta is Siesta too. I know, let's call it Old Siesta. This Siesta is a child of Old Siesta. Old Siesta is like Dad. It's far away from us right now. But it'll come back. And it'll bring gifts for us. What would you want? Enos! Are you off to work? Shh, be quiet. Harley is sleeping. You remember what I told you the last time, kids? Don't go out at night. Don't go to the plates outside the nomadic city. And don't draw on anything but drawing paper. Now, who's the great artist who painted the portrait of Herman Shell Brain on the restaurant's back wall? But all the grown-ups call him that. Well, grown-ups aren't always right. That's why it means something for the three of us to go on adventures. We find treasures they don't. Before that, though, we're going to clean the wall tomorrow, right? Right. Then, for good kids who admit their mistakes. The young man extends a hand. 3 finely made clay dolls with lifelike expressions lying in his palm. Just like the smiles in the family photo on the table. One for each member of our adventure team. Where did you get this? I made it. Like I said, I know magic. You don't like it? Liberia, feline, petal. Why are all of them different? I wish I got a D32 Steel Warrior instead. Special gifts are for special days. Don't worry. All that you want is waiting in the future. Now, it's bedtime. When can we go back to Old Siesta, Enos? Not yet. Gets really grumpy and breathes fire if you wake it up. Give it time, and maybe it'll be in a better mood. Then we can go and find it together. I want to be an adventurer like Dad. We're even better than that. We're an adventure team. We're an adventure team. Enos, you should take us to dig up those black rocks. Listen, you promised not to tell anyone that I went to dig up black rocks. That's a secret, you know. Will you take us to Old Siesta's beach park? I don't know if there will be much left of it. But I can take you to another amusement park. There are water parks elsewhere too. You've seen them in Dad's photos, haven't you? Volcano and water park. It's a promise. Yep. A promise between the members of the adventure team. Goods from the Colombian partners have been loaded. On the Lithanian side, and have to survey the layout of the trade fair venue. It's getting rather late, young master. You should get some rest. You don't have to do everything yourself. I can't just sit around doing nothing. The residents aren't too excited about a logistics hub. Maybe the international trade fair will change their attitude. As an independent city-state, Siesta has enormous potential in leveraging its position as a transportation hub. It's hard for one in the middle of all this to understand one's place in changes like these. They have their minds full of worrying about a new life in which they don't know what to expect. I know, I remember how I cried when we moved from Minos when I was little. Change is always scary. I want to make it easier on everyone. I understand that you met Miss Swire today. I did. We couldn't reach a consensus, but the conversation helped remind me. Messenger or merchant, the power to change lives comes with a great responsibility. Are you sure this responsibility is yours to bear? Your father has high hopes for you, but he did not ask you to shoulder such a responsibility so early. I will never leave his shadow if I only do what he wants me to. The Siesta project is important to him. There's never been a better chance to realize the dream he had when he established the Mountain Dash Logistics. Mountain Dash is based in Lungmen and bound by the rules of the Federation of Enterprises. He faces difficulty when it comes to the Siestan subsidiary. Your father told me he expects you to be ready to take over his work in 5 years, and that he has already started planning his retirement in Rimbilliton. Perhaps he should accelerate those plans. Now you're just teasing me. Still, it would be good for father to spend more time with mother. Thanks, Butler. Don't worry about me. I want to get this done while I'm focused. Enjoying yourself? I had tons of local food and tried the artificial hot springs here. I guess they have the same effects as real volcanic hot springs. It was so good. I didn't get to see the legendary Obsidian Festival, but I had a great time taking in the passionate atmosphere. Very nice. Sounds like New Siesta has a lot of business potential. Say, did you feel like you were being watched out there? Watched? No need to get anxious, just asking. I completely understand if that wasn't exactly at the top of your mind. Are you here in Siesta on a secret mission? Mission? What mission? Like I said, I'm here on vacation. I don't deal with the LGD often, but I've heard stories about you. Why you joined the LGD and your family. I can imagine how hard the decision was for you. I shouldn't have talked to those reporters. It's always the same thing. Getting kidnapped by terrorists when you're little is not exactly something you boast about. I hear you've basically been in charge of the LGD ever since Superintendent Chen left 2 years ago. I don't exactly understand why you're here in Siesta now, representing your family as an investor. And the people who followed us today were from Lungmen too, weren't they? Well, got me there. What do you think about Lungmen, Snowsant? Well, it's my home. I've seen how it changed from when I left Lungmen to study in Columbia, and in the years since I returned. As an engineer, I'm glad it makes me glad to see one skyscraper rise up after another. Firm and solid. Firm and solid, yes. A little too much so. It's hard for New Life to get the sun and nutrition it needs when tall skyscrapers block the light. Do you mean... Forget it. I'm just babbling. Don't tell anyone I just said to you. It seemed like a very long walk. The massive creature plods forward slowly, quietly. Adele follows behind it, rubbing her eyes from time to time. 1 step, 2 steps. Adele walks forward, stepping on her own shadow. The other passerby seem completely oblivious to the massive creature. Is this real? Or just a dream? What are you looking at, girl? Nothing. Aren't we going for a walk? To where exactly? We're almost there. Look up. One, 2, 3. The little creature stops and lifts its head in the light of the street lamps. Furry creatures leap and roll on the unfinished plate in the pale moonlight. 4, 5, 6. Little bits of wool drift in the air under a scattered damp light, almost like sparks falling in the summer night that no one knows about. 7, 8, 9. They leap across the container in orderly file, leaving marks on the metal with their hooves. Are these all little black sheep? Mr. Little... I mean... Mr. Big Black Sheep. Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? I may be a lot older than you are, but you can call me by my name. It's Dolly. Mr. Dolly? People in fairy tales always see strange things when they're about to die. Really? How tasteless. That's the kind of stories parents tell their children these days. Don't worry, girl. It's not your time yet. How have you been? Nah, maybe not the best question. I can see you're not too well. Not in terms of health, at least. But there's nothing that can be done about it. I'm sorry. Muti said that the little sheep around me are a gift from her. Did she ask you to stay by my side? Did you know my parents? It's a little hard to explain just who these little guys are. Let's call them my clones. They all have some special link to this world and they have different personalities. The fact that they're willing to stay by your side means you're a likable girl. As for your parents, of course I knew them. I remember that young couple from Lysanian who wanted to conquer all the volcanoes across the globe. I have to say that for humans, trying to achieve something regarding everything in the world is a fool's errand. But it's different when it comes to volcanoes. It's a classy dream. Stubborn but smart, with a real eye for beauty, especially your mother. I haven't met many people wiser than her. Were you by their side when... at the end? No, that's a topic not to be spoken of lightly. It was very much a surprise. No one knew the volcano would erupt there and then. But could puny humans really come to know everything about the globe? Do you feel any sadness about it? Thank goodness you weren't asking me why I didn't save them. I love volcanoes, of course. Surfing on molten lava is the second best thing on the planet. But volcanoes took the lives of two of my friends. It's the 11th worst thing that happened in recent years. We all want to prevent bad things from happening. But I'm not as omnipotent as I look. There are many things I can't do. If you're really sad though, you can rub yourself against my wool. That often helps when you're feeling down. Thank you. Anyway, the bass isn't truly over. They're always by your side, in one way or another. Human and beast sit by the seashore, feeling the caress of the warm sea breeze and listening to the soft clashing of the waves. The furry pack of beasts quietly play their game, leaping back and forth on containers and scaffolds, humming contentedly from time to time. One little beast tries to climb the container, following the herd in front, but fails repeatedly. Sorry, it's been so long since I've sat down for a chat with a human. My vocabulary is limited, so I'll dispense with the formalities. Or what? Dispense? Oh, yeah? Rather than ask questions that have obvious answer, what I want to ask is, are you happy, little one? I'm trying to finish my parents' research. It's hard work, but it feels meaningful. So you're not happy. We met in siesta, as fate would have it. Let's make a deal. Wait, is that the right word in your language? Deal? Maybe I should use a more friendly word. Let's say... game. Anyhow, I want you to find a few things for me that I lost in siesta. Consider it a treasure hunt. What is it that you lost? Let me think. The north wind, a seed, and a fur. What do you mean by those? Where's the fun in a game if you know the solutions beforehand? Don't be too eager to seek an answer. Feel it out. It'll be worth your while. I promise. I'll have something for you when you find all three. How about which you have been seeking? What I've been seeking? I can't just accept the mysterious circumstances surrounding their deaths. Northwind? Sea? Seed? Fur? Good hunting. Dolly is kind of silly. I'm unsure if he's real or if she's crazy.